Hi, welcome to another day of online teaching. Today is March 25th, 2020, Wednesday. The first thing you have to do today is watch a YouTube video about audience and purpose. That is the lesson for today. It is a review of what you've learned before, but you guys are still confused with this, so we are going over it again. This link I have sent you on Instagram, so if you didn't get it, you have to send me a message on Instagram. If you got the work packet, you do not have to watch this video. Once again, if you got the work packet, you don't have to watch this video, because in your work packet, you should have the Newsela article entitled Space Grown Lettuce. If you don't have it, I will read it for you here so you have that information. You would need this information so that you can answer questions about audience and purpose. We are using that information to help you answer the questions. So basically, this one is just, I'm going to read the Space Grown Lettuce article for you. The questions would be on another video because I can only record 15 minutes on this recording. So let's start reading it. Space grown lettuce to give astronauts a more varied diet. Varied means like, you have a lot of options. The other word you may hear would be variety. Okay, so more choices. Astronauts get to experience many interesting attractions. When astronauts go to space, they can become weightless or they float because there's no gravity in space. They get to see Earth as a little blue dot. Astronauts get to experience shooting up into space at 20,000 miles per hour. That is more than 3 times faster than an airplane. Still, food is not one of the interesting parts of being an astronaut. Space travelers have had to eat strange foods. One example is liquid salt and pepper. They have also had to eat dried shrimp cocktail. The astronauts add water to it to make it a liquid again before eating. So, this is the first paragraph and this is the second paragraph. Can you tell me which paragraph, is it the first or second, that talks about what kind of food that they eat in space? If you said it's the second paragraph, you are right, because it says here that they eat dried shrimp. That's just one of the few dry foods that they eat there, and if they want to make it taste better, they add salt and pepper. So let's go to the next part. Menu is going to grow. However, the menu for astronauts is going to grow. Scientists have been growing lettuce in outer space. The lettuce is just as safe, nutritious, and tasty as lettuce grown on Earth. Gia Massa works at the NASA Kennedy Space Center in Florida. She's the lead scientist on the lettuce growing project. She said that growing food in space could be crucial or important for astronauts on long missions. One mission is Artemis 3rd. That mission will send humans to the moon by 2024. NASA will also send its first crew of astronauts to Mars in the late 2020s. Massa says that today's space food may not work for these longer missions. This packaged food is stored for a long time. The quality and taste of the food goes down. In addition, the vitamins in the food start to break down. Massa says the astronauts may not get enough nutrition from these foods during long missions. So let's go back here. This is the third paragraph, the fourth paragraph, which extends to the next page, and the fifth paragraph. So can you tell me which paragraph tells you that food in space is not as good? If you said fifth paragraph, you are right, because it says that the quality and taste of the food goes down, and also the vitamins start to break down. Okay, so by the time they open it, it's not as nutritious anymore. So let's go to the next part, looking after plants. She also added that there could be another benefit to growing food in space. Looking after plants could help astronauts emotionally. Space food has improved in recent years. Many astronauts visit the International Space Station, ISS. It is a research station in outer space. Anything sent to ISS has to score at least a 6 out of 9 on a taste test. Even so, astronauts can grow tired of eating the same old vacuum-packed meals. NASA says many of the astronauts end up losing weight. Lettuce was grown in batches on board ISS between 2014 and 2016. The vegetable production system is known as Veggie. It is made of plant pillows. These are sealed units full of soil. There is also a lighting system and a watering system. The lettuce crops grew for 33 to 56 days. Some of the lettuce was harvested and eaten. The rest was frozen and returned to Earth to be tested. Astronauts rubbed the lettuce leaves with sanitized wipes before eating. NASA says they did this to keep astronauts from getting sick. So let's stop there. So in this section that says looking after plants, okay, so this is the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th paragraphs. Okay, so can you tell me which paragraph tells you that growing lettuce has another benefit? Is it the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th paragraph? If you said it's the 6th paragraph, you are right, because it says the other benefit is that it helps astronauts emotionally. So when you put time and energy on something, you start to care for its well-being. So that's how they become like emotionally invested in growing the lettuce to make sure that it doesn't die. The other question I have is, how do astronauts grow lettuce in space? Is it in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th paragraph? If you said the 8th paragraph, you are right, because it says the vegetable production system is called Veggie, and they bring soil into space. There's also a lighting system that replaces the sun, and a watering system because it needs water to grow. Okay, the last question I have is, because food in space, they don't taste that good, what happens to astronauts because they don't get to eat as much? Can you find the answer in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th paragraph? If you say the 7th paragraph, you are correct, because it says that astronauts end up losing weight because, you know, they eat the same thing and it's not as tasty. So that's why they end up losing weight. So these are the last two paragraphs. So we have the 10th and the 11th paragraphs. More nutrients. The space-grown lettuce was similar to Earth-grown lettuce. In fact, some of the space-grown plants had more nutrients than Earth-grown lettuce. The space lettuce also had higher levels of bacteria. This was possibly because the lettuce grew in a warmer, more humid system. However, none of this bacteria was dangerous. NASA plans to grow other produce on the ISS. There are plans for tomatoes, peppers, and other plants to be grown later this year. However, it will be a long time before astronauts can cook these ingredients. NASA says there's nowhere to cook on the ISS. That is why NASA is trying to grow foods that taste good fresh. So I have 3 questions just to make sure that you understand this part. The first one would be, what other kinds of food would be grown in space later in the year? Can you find the information in the 10th or 11th paragraph? If you say the 10th paragraph, you are right. It says there are plans for tomatoes, peppers, and other plants to be grown later this year. The other question that I have is, what are the other benefits of space-grown lettuce? Can you find that on the 10th or 11th paragraph? If you say 10th paragraph, you are right. Because here, it says that it has higher levels of bacteria. This bacteria is not dangerous. Because it's not dangerous, it's actually good for your gut or your stomach, because you don't bloat, meaning your stomach it doesn't get bigger. Also, it absorbs more nutrients that way. So that's why that's the other benefit. And the last one is, why is NASA trying to grow fresh food in space? Can you find that answer in the 10th or 11th paragraph? If you say the 11th paragraph, you are right, because here it says that there's nowhere to cook on the ISS. That's why they're trying to grow foods that taste good fresh, so that they can just like grab it or open it and don't have to worry about cooking. So this is the reading. I will have another video with the questions that you have to answer for the reading. There are 2 worksheets that you have to do. Okay, so I will talk to you again later to tell you guys the questions.